the, the chairman, the executives, and office bearers of SKOCH Group, and the delegates and presenters. I am Vijay Agarwal, Deputy Housing Commissioner working in the Rajasthan Housing Board, and before you to present the project of rejuvenation of Rajasthan Housing Board. To a few words for Rajasthan Housing Board. Housing Board was established in 1970 with the aim to address the housing requirement in the state of Rajasthan. It started operations from 7 cities of Rajasthan, and now in 52 years it has spread to 67 cities with more than 2.5 lakhs of dwelling units constructed by it. Not long ago, in 2015, the then state government somehow had decided to close the new activities of housing board owing to mainly uh, the huge stock of undisposed complete housing units lying with RHB. Besides, the allottees descends for high time and cost overruns, and they were asking for refunds. Due to that, there were great amount of withdrawals. So, and with passage of time, 3 years back, it was on the verge of closure due to government stake, especially when there was no continuity of management, as the CEO of Rajasthan Housing Board, that is Housing Commissioner, was not at all present in a regular manner, whereas much of the onus lies upon him in respect of policies, liaison with the government, new initiatives, etc. In comes the new state government.
Please, you have 10 minutes to present.
Yes,
Move
sir.
your
Yes, sir.
screen.
I'm just
Move your screen.
speeding. Yes, sir. As the new government taking over charge in December 2018, it signaled and vowed to rejuvenate RHB and diversify the activities. With the new commissioner in place, being a visionary crusader like Mr. Pawan Arora, the scenario started changing and wheels turning. Effective from June 2019, with the speed of Pawan, Mr. Arora, on one hand, initiated dialogue with the officials and the officers of RHB, and on the other hand, with the state government to pursue and fulfill its goals and get necessary approvals as required, which was met with great success. RHB was having a huge inventory of more than 18,000 surplus units. Reserve price was not commensurate with the market, and it was a great challenge for us to dispose these units at such high price. A mechanism of two rebate slabs of 25% and 50% was devised depending upon how old the property was. Flats or independent houses, sellability, its original cost, etc. Accordingly, 9,000 more than 9,000 units were offered through e-auction to start with effect from 30th September 2019. With the minimum bidding price was kept at 25 to 50% less. In a span of 35 days, as many as 1,010 units were sold, fetching rupees 162 crores to the exchequer. This feat was recognized by the World Book of Records, UK, London. Encouraged by the response and demand, Housing Board brought about Budhwar Nilami Utsav, Wednesday auction festival, every week as an offline mode of auction of dwelling units for all sizes, flats, independent houses spread across Rajasthan with effect from 4th December 2019. The scheme was then amalgamated into Golden Jubilee Celebration Gift Scheme during January and February 2020. The scheme was continued till the first lockdown due to COVID-19 pandemic. During lockdown, RSB contributed to a lot to the society in the form of establishment of quarantine centers at Jaipur and Jodhpur, generously donated into CM COVID Fund, distributed free face masks, organizing vaccination camps, etc. We didn't stop here. During lockdown, in a continuous endeavors, preparations were made to sell the surplus units on installment basis, owing to the hardships faced by the general public. Undeterred by the COVID pandemic, the sales spree continued online, facilitating bidders to buy units from remote places from the comfort of their houses. In this period, several scattered residential as well as commercial plots properties were identified, sold online as premier properties. New shopping centers at Jaipur were planned, developed, and accordingly auctioned with great success. Fast tracking online refunds of unsuccessful bidders further boosted the confidence of public and inspired to bid further and spread positive mouth publicity. Weekly allotment demand letters were issued, enabling allottees to pay the demand quickly and immediately take over the possession of the property, thereby acting as a catalyst for further disposal of property. During the period, the board embarked upon few new projects of public interest, with a huge city park and Fountain Square, a coaching hub, chaupatis, that is food courts in Jaipur, Jodhpur, and Kota, open air gyms in parks, plantation across the state in a big way with public participation and concern for public health. Extensive and aggressive publicity was resorted to through social, print, and digital media. Even bulk SMSs, telephone calls were made, call centers were established to outreach, IT-enabled help desk in the offices, and property sites were arranged for convenience of public. Site visit arrangements were made even on holidays. Tents and convenient seatings with refreshments. Nodal officers were deployed for the assistance and guidance of prospective buyers. With the making of niche in the public in due course of time, Housing Board has endeavored into new residential schemes at various places, including smaller cities for common men as well as for the special sections of the society. These schemes received an overwhelming response from the public. More than 10,500 new housing units have been taken up and another 400 are in pipeline. It has been doubly ensured that there is no cost and time overrun in the project. Regular project monitoring committee meeting
Sorry, sir,
is,
for interruption.
yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes,
can you please change the slide also?
yes,
It's
please.
uh, it's on slide
Uh,
number one only.
just a minute. Just this was the estimation of RHB. This is the organized structure of RHB, and these were the challenges faced by RHB to start with. Now, I was just saying that it has been doubly ensured that there is no cost and time overrun in the projects. Regular project monitoring committee inspections to address technical site-related issues expeditiously. Adherence to RERA Act and rules has also played a guiding role and strong role in observing strict schedules. It is only the RHB who got as many as record 71 projects registered with Rajasthan Real Estate Regulatory Authority (RERA). By means of online processes, RHB has succeeded in selling more than 15,799 residential and commercial properties in a short span of 36 months of worth more than 4,000 crores, and it is still counting. Recently, in July 2022, a big auction program was held for 45,000 square meters of commercial plot carved out of establishment of mall or such type of multiple activity under one roof in Mansur, Jaipur, the Asia's biggest colony in India. During lockdown, it was sold in the first go at an unprecedented rate of rupees 1.07 lakhs per square meter in the competitive bidding online, fetching a whopping rupees 488 crores. It is also worth mentioning here that RHB has rolled out first of its kind a 576 multi-story flats, chief minister, teachers and police constable residence scheme at Pratapnagar in record period of 33 months of its launching in December 2020 by the Honorable CM Sri Ashok Gehlot, who had come to the Housing Board premises for the first time in the history of Housing Board. During the function, all were praises for Team RHB and its dynamic leadership of Mr. Pawan Arora. Symbolically, the keys were also delivered to the allottees. It was the third year was the time of delivery also. We had launched Jaipur Chowpatty in December 2020 and we had delivered the Chowpatty, dedicated the Chowpatty to the public in 1st November 2021 and it's doing very well. The public at large are enjoying the sumptuous food with live bands. It is indeed a happy note to say that first phase of the city park and Fountain Square will also be dedicated to the public in the coming Navratras. RSB is continuously acting upon all its projected schedules, monitoring them very closely, clearing bottlenecks as and when faced immediately, and committed to its promises that are made in right earnest. The task has been quite tough and daunting. It goes without saying that without the help of state government, it could not have been possible to achieve such a stupendous task. This is unparalleled feat of RHB and deserves a round of applause and appreciation. And of course, and selection for the award. Our motto has always been to simplify and simply fly. Let me cover up the remaining part of the presentation. We had during the last 3 years, our whole auction process has taken place with zero complaint and zero error. We had been resorting to e-governance initiative in all the processes. We are even moved a step further from e-governance to m-governance. Like we had been able to develop many mobile apps such as RSB Sajak app for the quality control inspections and assurances, RSB Green app for plantation by public participation, RSB Awas app for demand survey across all 213 urban local bodies of Rajasthan. Many more are in the offing. Lot about confidence, build up, transparency, minimize corruption, and personal contact. These are the figures of previous in that part of residential units and commercial units. As many as 15,800 units have been sold and fetching 4,000 more than 4,000 crores of value. We had been able
Sorry,
to.
sir, for interruption.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you please conclude your presentation in 2 to 3 minutes?
Yes, I'm just winding up. These were the
Sure.
units we had taken up. These were the special units we had taken up. Even the state government assigned the job of construction of MLA flats to housing board. This is a tremendous confidence reposed by the government. There was a unique project coaching hub, city park, chowpatis, open air gyms. We had developed coaching hub arcade in the premises of coaching hub, and we had been able to fetch a good price for the constructed shops that are there for will be available for the coaching hub. We had brought about many admin reforms in the corona times. We had extended many rebates and concessions to the applicants and allottees and buyers. These are the initiatives we had started. Apni Dukan, Apna Vyavasay Yojana for the common man, for the youth, for promoting self-employment, quarantine centers, face masks, host of things. We had been benefited by all such activities. We had been able to garner confidence of the common man, and morale of the officials of the housing board had been quite high nowadays, and we could move forward, launch new schemes, new projects of interest. These were the benefits, and we are still doing it. We are going ahead with this. More and more are into offering. These are the awards and accolades we had received during the 3 years. More than 10 international awards have been given. These are the projects that we are undertaking. They are going on. Thank you very much to say the least. And at the last, if I am allowed, I dedicate the following to respected Housing Commissioner Sri Pawan Arora IAS. मैं आम आदमी के एहसास बदल कर रख दूंगा, तुम लोगों के खंडित विश्वास बदल के रख दूंगा। चढ़ने को तो मैं तना ही उत्तांग शिखर चढ़ सकता हूँ, लेकिन अगर तुम साथ चलो तो इतिहास बदल कर रख दूंगा। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you, Mr. Agarwal.
जी सर।
I think you have been able to regenerate, as you are telling, your housing board. But just tell me one or two things.
Yes, sir.
First thing is housing board in profit now?
This housing board has now good amount of liquidity in the form of FDRs, and it has spare amount for other works to do. Even the government of Rajasthan has been sometimes or the other has been asking money to housing board.
My question
Yes, sir.
is simple.
Yes, sir.
Are you making current profits? You may have accumulated losses. That is different.
Yes, sir.
But what about your current year? Is it in profit or not as yet?
We are making profits. Yes, sir. We have been paying income tax as well. We have been making profits nowadays. Yes, sir.
Good. Secondly, my slight concern, you have
Yes.
praised Mr. Arora. He has done wonderfully well. I know the person at the top matters. We all know all this. But it should not go away with Mr. Arora. Suppose once Mr. Arora leaves, then again things, slip out. That should not happen. And that will only possible when you have SOPs in place, that this is what we like to do in this circumstance.
That
Right?
is what very rightly said, sir. Very rightly said. In last 3 years, Mr. Ponoda has been able to inculcate kind of sense of responsibility and SOPs that have been put in place. And there's so many initiatives has been taken, like our regular meetings, board meetings are taking place, inspections, project monitoring committees are taking place. These have been all put in line. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, out of 18,000 which were lying vacant,
Yes, sir.
now have you been able to dispose of all this, or
No,
still there is a
around one third property are still with us
still?
being sold and being considered as to how these can be sold, as lesser people are interested over there.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Wish you all the best
Thank you very much, sir.
from my side.
थैंक यू अग्रवाल साहब, आपने काफी अच्छे से स्ट्रीमलाइन किया है बहुत सारी एक्टिविटीज को पैरेलली, लेकिन आपके साथ में भी ऐसा है और प्राइवेट सेक्टर के साथ में भी ऐसा है कि एक्सेस इन्वेंट्री क्रिएट हो गई है हाउसिंग सेक्टर में। आप क्या एफर्ट करना चाहेंगे या कर रहे हैं जिससे ये सिचुएशन दोबारा ना हो? आफ्टर ऑल ये बहुत ही कॉस्टली प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं और तभी बनाने चाहिए जब पूरी तरह से डिमांड प्रॉपर्ली असेस हो और एप्लीकेंट की कमिटमेंट हो पूरा। तो उसके लिए आप क्या कर रहे हैं कि ये एक्सेस कैपेसिटी दोबारा क्रिएट ना हो?
बिल्कुल सर, आपको मैं बताना चाहता हूं कि जितनी भी हमने स्कीम्स खोली हैं, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हमने उनके लिए रजिस्ट्रेशंस खोले हैं, और यू विल बी वंडरिंग दैट there had been it has been oversubscribed. That is to say, if we had opened for 100 houses, there had been more than 200 or 300 applicants. We have to prioritize, we have to shortlist 100 only. So that is one thing. Then we are ensuring that time and cost overrun is not there in the project. And this is the testimony that a project launched in December 2019 has now been delivered on September 2022 by the Minister of the State Government, within the cost and within the time. All our praises to the project. Everybody has seen the project and the kind of development has been done. It is tremendous, marvelous, and they have been praising it. It's not we are saying it. It's the people over there has been praising it. That is one of the testimony. Besides, we had launched Jaipur Chowpatty in December 20, and that we have rolled out in 1st November 2022, and it is doing very well. वहाँ पे अच्छा खाना लोगों को मिलता है, and with the live band, they are enjoying both the thing at one place. So this is a testimony that we mean business nowadays, और ये चीज आफ्टर पोर्नोडा भी चलता रहेगा. This we assure you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thank you very
please.
much.
It is the only state in the entire country. It is the only state in the entire country which has done this. So, not only the first state, but it is the only state which has done this to formulate a state level cooperation policy. So this is the background, sir. In fact, Government of India first time implemented National Cooperation Policy in 2002, and thereafter no state has till now framed a state level cooperation policy. The policy of 2002 still continues, which has become outdated. So Madhya Pradesh in the year 2017, August 2017, decides to have a state level cooperation policy as per the current needs of the cooperatives. So the process initiated, and we are. I am glad to inform you, sir. Out of the 5 members which are which have nominated as a team this time, out of those 5 members, the 3 members continue from 2017, and I have the privilege to be principal secretary that time also during the period August 17 to January 19. So in fact, I had the privilege to start this initiative in August 2017. So we decided to prepare the state level policy. Thereafter, on October 2017, a committee of experts was formed. Then from 17 to May 2022, this long period, the series of consultations were held. there was change of government 2 times. One from in year 2019, then again in year 2020, 2021 other. So there were 2 times the change of government was there. Then again, uh, I had the privilege to come to this department 6 months back. So we started afresh, and a series of consultations were again vigorously held in the month of. In fact, I'll come to the consultations. So this is the chart of consultations which were held with various stakeholders. So from 17, 18, with the various representatives of cooperative bodies and the experts. Then first draft was prepared. Uh, the modified draft was prepared in July 9, 2019. Again, this draft was discussed with National Cooperative Union of India, NCDC, and apex unions of other states, and national level NGOs and experts. October 2019, the modified draft prepared. February 2020, the policy drafts again modified based on the suggestions. Next. Then August 2021, the Planning Commission. This is the serious effort started after August 2021. The Planning Commission of the state convened a national level experts committee workshop in Bhopal, where the CM, Honorable CM, presided over the workshop. It was a day-long workshop which discussed about the policy outlines and the need for the policy and what are the ingredients of the policy should be. December 2021, the revised draft prepared. Again, then there had to be a change because in April 2022, the national level, the new cooperative department which was formed last year, they held a national level workshop to prepare a new national level policy. So there were a lot of discussions were held in the month of April, 12th and 13th April, 2 days workshop was there. So based on those suggestions, we drafted our policy. Further consultations were in the month of March and May, and in the first week of June, we prepared the policy. And 13th June, our Honorable CM handed over the draft to Honorable Central Cooperative Minister, Mr. Honorable Amit Shahji. Then the next day we got the approval from State Niti Ayog. Then the presentations were done to the Chief Secretary and the departmental secretaries. So now the policy has been prepared and it is to be ready to be implemented through the cabinet approval. Next. What is the need for the policy? As I said, no state has a policy. The national level policy expired long back. It was framed in 2002. So there was a need for the policy. The gamut of cooperative is very large. In fact, every 1 out of 4 person is a member of cooperative in Madhya Pradesh. So the cooperative department touches life of crores of people in Madhya Pradesh. So we need to have a policy. There is a huge potential of employment generation through cooperatives, and cooperatives is there for inclusive development. It caters to the lower rung of society, the socio-economic lower rung of the society, and it helps in the economic development, inclusive development. And there was a need to make a cooperative a popular mass movement. So there has to be some policy initiative has to be taken to make it a popular movement. It has to be extended to new sectors. There are traditional sectors like dairy, fisheries, agriculture, credit, but there is a need to extend to the new emerging sectors to make the cooperatives self-reliant and strong, to remove the internal flaws which have crept in the cooperatives over the long period of time. So there are some deficiencies and flaws that have crept in. Then to inculcate the modern values of corporate governance, professionalism, modernization, IT use without compromising the principles of cooperatives of democratic governance. So this was the need for the policy intervention. Next. So the policy which we have prepared, it has a simple vision, what we see, what we perceive, cooperative to become a mass movement where the cooperatives are automatically being formed by all sections of people. And it becomes a preferred mode of inclusive, sustainable development. So this is the vision what we see, and what we have to do to achieve this vision. So that is our mission, what we have to do. So the mission is prepare the action plan for existing cooperatives and form enabling environment for formation of new generation cooperatives in the non-traditional areas, and where the role of government has to be not of a controller, but of a facilitator, enabler, catalyst. So what are the major highlights of the policy which we have prepared? Cooperatives to become a mass movement, popular movement, where the environment is such an environment is created where so much of the cooperatives are being formed by people, especially the people of lower rung of the society, and employment generation on a large scale. Cooperatives should become a viable business entity. They should not become a the loss-making entity, but should become a viable business entity. Use of IT for efficiency as well as transparency. Extension to non-traditional sectors like service sector, tourism, e-rickshaw, vast service sector is there. So the food processing, non-renewable energy, many sectors, health. So many areas which are emerging now. Even shopping malls are being run by cooperatives. Hospitals are run by cooperatives. Corporate governance, professionalism, and modernization. These three important principles, which are of basically borrowed from companies, but these principles to be brought in the working of the cooperatives without compromising the values of the cooperatives. Reforms in the election process, audit process, and appointments in the cooperative bodies, capacity building of the members, board directors, and the officials of the cooperatives become a constant ongoing process. Institutional and legal reforms reach to every village. Every village should have at least one cooperative, whether it is a workman cooperative, whether it is a handicrafts workman cooperative, whether it is agriculture, dairy, fishery, whatever. So reach to every village, and strong and self-reliant cooperative institutions where the role of government, as I said, facilitator and enabler, not a controller. So the policy document which you have prepared is a big document, but it has been important chapters are listed here. The institutional development, what are the institutional development, structural and legal reforms, listed out what are the structural and legal reforms, which primarily will be focusing. IT in the cooperative sector, convert cooperative movement in an efficient business model. So that is one important thing. Encourage innovation in corporate societies. So innovation fund, e-marketing platform, branding, in marketing, branding, etc. And the HRD, as I said, qualitative trainings, research and innovation. Then cooperative education training of all stakeholders, member to member, official, board directors, and grievance redressal system, audit system. So these are the focus areas in the policy. Now we come to the prioritized sectors. These are the important sectors where the cooperatives have the strong presence. What we are going to do in these further improve these sectors.
May I request you to conclude in next 2 minutes, please?
So these are the priority. These are the priority areas where how we further improve these sectors and strengthen the existing cooperatives, and what new activities these cooperatives can take up. Like for example, agriculture credit. So at present, the agriculture credit is looked after by PACS, primary agriculture credit societies. They do only the credit as well as the primarily the credit function and supply of agriculture inputs. But how to diversify their activities? PACS can become a one point service center, like some Samadhan Kendra, where the all community services may be rendered. So all services can be rendered through the PACS. So similarly, all these how to further diversify and improve these sectors, we have prioritized these. We have separate chapters on these. Next. The implementation strategy is simple. The 1-year action plan is part of the policy, where 30 pointers have been prepared, and the timeline, the activity sub-activity wise timeline has been defined. So there is no time lag in preparing the long-term action plans. So short-term action plan, 1-year action plan is part of the policy. Then the long-term plan will be prepared by the respective line departments, the sector-specific department, and the district and the apex bodies of cooperatives and the central level, district level, or central level cooperative institutions. And review committee, which will do the continuous review on initially on monthly basis, thereafter on a quarterly basis, by the Chief Secretary and the Cooperative Minister. Next. What we see, what we try to achieve as an outcome is with the implementation of this policy, with the support and enabling environment provided by the government, will be a momentum for formation of new cooperatives, which will be economically viable, democratically elected, and beneficial to the for the economic upliftment of their members in particular and general public in general. So, and we perceive that it will be an effective step towards Atmanirbhar Madhya Pradesh and a step towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Gupta. I think very nice presentation. We are happy to note that MP is the first state and the only state to have formed the state level cooperative policy. See, that is, cooperative, as you know, is a very old subject, and we have been trying to revive cooperative more as NABARD, as cooperative credit structure. In fact, I myself have done a study of the entire cooperative credit structure of Madhya Pradesh sometime in 2013-14. I don't remember exactly the period, but lot more was desired to be done, which was the main finding of our study, especially with regard to tax and all that. Now, my only submission to you is we appreciate your effort, but the only thing which you have to look into is the implementation part, because we make very good policies, we make very good documents, but when it comes to implementation, now you are at the top of cooperative. By the time, things start moving, the CEO also somehow gets moved. So things again come to the square one. So I hope that the continuity would be there and there will be a constant direction from your side to implement this statement. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So we had thought of that, sir. That's why I said we had already prepared 30-point action, 30-point pointer plan, where the 1-year action plan is already prescribed in the policy. So that is to readily it can be implemented, because our government, their election, state level election after 1.5 years. So we were worried that at least some tangible results are available in the field. So that's why 1-year plan is already part of the policy, and we have the line department wise the action points, so that ownership is there, accountability and ownership is there on the implementation part.
Right. Now, my another small submission is that whatever cooperatives we are developing, viability should be at the back of our mind. If they are not viable, there are others to serve other than the cooperatives also. So the whole idea is that cooperatives by the people, for the people, as you know. So my request to you would be, let us have viable cooperative structure, and that is where the success of your policy will lie. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Very close.
Thank you, Gupta sir. Thank you, sir. Very good presentation. Hope your policy is well implemented, and as pointed out my colleague, hope that it is implemented in letter and spirit. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. So I just wanted to bring to your notice, we had again a national level workshop of cooperative ministers last week. 2 days workshop was there in Delhi, where the Secretary Cooperation has appreciated efforts of the Madhya Pradesh, and they said that Madhya Pradesh is the state which has prepared the policy even before the national policy, and he praised in the gathering of all state secretaries and ministers.
Gupta sir, just a second thought. In fact, Madhya Pradesh has done exceedingly well in terms of medicinal plants, cultivation and harvesting. You can also include that in your priority list, because I think Madhya Pradesh has done exceedingly well in this area.
It is already there, sir. We have a chapter of minor forest produce where it is incorporated already.
Surely. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
SKOCH Award for Promotion of Micro Irrigation.
This meeting is being recorded.
Through PMKSY, per drop more crop for sustainable agriculture. Now, I would like to firstly give a brief about what we have the scheme. So this is under PMKSY, PDMC, that is per drop more crop, or is based upon the concept that Honorable Prime Minister has promulgated, that is Har Khet Ko Pani, or per drop more crop. And based upon this, we are working on the component of micro irrigation in the state. Now, since the scheme was launched initially, there were a lot of hurdles in implementation of the scheme. One of which was lack of transparency and in the entire
Sorry,
application
ma'am, for
process.
interruption. Ma'am, can you please share the presentation with us also?
Yeah, I think I have shared it.
No, it's not.
KSY scheme, the horticulture
This meeting is
department
being recorded.
is implementing the per drop more crop component, and under this component we are focusing on micro irrigation in the state. So since the scheme was launched in 2006-7, since then there were many hurdles in implementation of the scheme. One of them primarily being the lack of transparency and lack of one stop portal for all the stakeholders to use and implement the scheme. So we worked on it, and Madhya Pradesh developed an MP FSTS portal. It was one of the pioneers to do it, and since then we have been able to implement the scheme seamlessly in the state. There are primarily four stakeholders in the entire process of implementation of the scheme. That is the vendors or the manufacturers, the farmers, and the department. So under this scheme, what we have done is basically the entire process of application and to the payment. Everything is online. So the farmer is made available a login ID and password by which a registration process is conducted from beginning of when the targets are released. The entire process is online, and the registration is first done for a 1 month or a 1.5 month period. And after that, when the targets are uploaded, the farmers can apply. We also follow the system of sending messages to all the registered farmers so that they can come on board and apply for the scheme on time. And then after the entire process follows each and every step, everything is uploaded online. For example, once the farmer has applied for the scheme benefit under the scheme, then it goes to our departmental officers, who then visit and verify physically about the eligibility of the farmer for the scheme. And then after after being satisfied about the farmer's eligibility, they issue one Ashay Patra, and then the farmer is basically assured that he will be getting benefit of the scheme. Farmer then he is made available all the three options. That is, he can either install the system himself and claim for the DBT. He can, there we have also registered the suppliers, and he can also apply and get benefit through the suppliers. And also, if for the Krishak Anshdan, he wants to take a bank loan, then we make available the subsidy component in the bank account of the beneficiary. So then the farmer takes benefit of the scheme, and he implements installs the equipment in his field. And then then he applies that I have completed the work also on the portal. And then after our departmental officers go in the field, they physically verify that everything is installed as per specifications, and then they make a pass for payment. If the system is installed by the vendor, he is also made available an option by wherein he can come and upload everything online, and and claim his bill. And then the physical verification is again done by our departmental officer, also online uploaded, and then the payment is processed. So entire system from the start to the end is systematically online, made online, so that transparency as well as efficiency in monitoring is also maintained. So I will, this was a little bit brief about the scheme. Now we'll go by the slides that we have prepared. So as you can see, horticulture and challenges in implementation of PMKSY scheme before the online process, I have shared that, as is the challenges in any other offline process, that it is basically difficult to monitor from a centralized place like the state. And also there are a lot of challenges with respect to manual intervention and increase of corruption. So we have tried to streamline all these processes, the challenges that we were facing in implementation of the scheme back then. Next, I would like to tell you about the current process. So, horticulture department is basically working for enhancing farmers' technical know-how for precision farming to increase his production and doubling his income. And there are many schemes where farmers can avail the assistance or apply for the scheme with the help of the online portal. This is the portal that I was briefing earlier, and
I
for
think
which
your slides are not moving. Same thing.
which slide you want to?
Yes,
This slide. Go to next one.
at least I am able to see the first one only.
Okay, so can you?
Anyway, if it is not moving, forget it, just tell us because the limited time.
Right. So, with the help of the online portal MPFSTS, the farmers can apply directly and track his application and avail the benefits. The portal is very useful and handy to us, not to, by the for usage by the farmer, by department, by vendor, and it gives real-time data and status of the application as well as the scheme. Now, with respect to micro irrigation under PMKSY, how the objectives are to increase the area under micro irrigation, increasing the productivity of the crops, income of farmers, and various vegetables, garlic, orange, banana, all these things are covered under it. We are also including fertigation in the same. Water stress and critical groundwater blocks and districts are our focus. Promotion of and developing modern and scientific knowledge and creation of employment opportunities, etc., are the objectives. Now, under the micro irrigation potential, Madhya Pradesh constitutes around 9.5% of the total geographic area of the country, and around 10% of our micro irrigation potential, 10% of the immediate and the 10% of the ultimate potential we have utilized. 73% of the total agricultural land in Madhya Pradesh is irrigated, and 63% of it is through groundwater. Now, if we consider the groundwater irrigated area, that is 2.74%. And from that, we have addressed currently 0.23%, and the addressal is going on continuously. Now, if I talk about the problems faced during the implementation of PMKSY scheme before the online process, so earlier the offline application was being received, so there was a farmer and manufacturer registration used to happen in register, and many a times these will be open for manipulations. Then the process transparency was not there, scheme monitoring reports were not available. Then farmer database for 7 years, for example, under the PMKSY scheme, there is a component, there's a criteria that if a farmer has availed a benefit, he cannot re-avail the benefit for the next 7 years. So these kinds of trackings also we have ensured online, and time bound delivery of the scheme is being possible through this. Now, this is, if you're able to see the screen, these are the various pages of this portal that we have shown. And now the solution that we have devised is one time manufacturer registration we do. So manufacturers are registered and approved by SLSC and then uploaded online, and these manufacturers then are available on the portal for farmers to select if they want to take the benefit through the manufacturer or the vendor. Now, first come first serve application process is being followed currently, in which what we do is that whatever targets we have been allotted, we upload all that online, and first come first serve plus 10% applications we invite. Then, based upon that, again, the verification and everything is done, and Ashepatras are issued. Now, this is rated one of the best portals under PMKSY with respect to the ease of operation for the farmers, for the manufacturers, and for the departments. Physical verification is done online. Tracing of beneficiary and database of the beneficiaries is also maintained online. Now, with respect to challenges during the implementation, technical staff, data synchronization, timely delivery, and upgradation, these were the challenges, and we had to train our people to understand the system of how to tackle the online system of the MPFSTS portal. And so far, we are able to get the auto work orders from the portal. Paperless work is being done, and reports of various kinds of monitoring reports are also available online. Now, if I share about the what are the various activities or the process flow of the entire system, that is, one-time registration of the farmer is being done on the portal with complete profile by updating all relevant documents, by linking his Aadhaar number, and thus avoiding any duplication. The registration process
Sorry
basically
for
be,
interruption, ma'am.
yeah.
Ma'am, can you please conclude your presentation in 2 minutes?
Yeah, please, I'll do that. So OTP based registration is done so that there's no margin for error. Farmer, vendor, various level government officers ID and passwords are shared for further process for fast tracking the mechanism and uploading of the document. Paperless work order is being generated online and the farmer can download it at any time from anywhere. Complete tracking of the data is being done for work done in last 7 years is also available online. Facility for vendor to validate geotagging is done by field staff. Uploading the relevant documents like bank statement of the company, invoice of the material supply, satisfaction certificate, completion certificate, completing the work online. All this is being tracked online. Disbursement of funds and calculation of subsidies on also online with zero margin for error. Proper tracking of application.
I think she has lost connectivity. Mr. Faisal, can you check?
Yes, sir. Just give a minute.
Chief. I'm Srinivas Rao, CEO Campa, Chhattisgarh from Forest Department. And in Chhattisgarh, the state is full of the forest area. The total forest area of the Chhattisgarh state is the 44% of the land mass. And the need of the soil and water conservation for rejuvenation of the streams inside the forest area, it has a direct benefit. This project is basically aimed for the welfare of the people and welfare of the forest. That is precisely Janhit and Vanhit. The uniqueness of this nomination and uniqueness of this project is it is being implemented from the funds collected from the user agencies where we have diverted the land for the development of the non-forestry purpose. And we are effectively using this money for the rejuvenation of the forest inside in the forest areas and rejuvenation of the streams. The streams play the major role in the catchment area of the rivers. And the streams, they are the different type of the streams are basically classified into the primary nalas, primary streams, secondary, tertiary. Like that, they form into the a big stream. Then they become the catchment area of the river. So the basic importance of these streams is we have got the dendroid system of the water canal streams in Chhattisgarh state. As you know, forests are the originating points of the many rivers and the rivulets. Many rivers and the rivulets, they originate from the forest areas. And we need to protect these streams. The basic idea of this project is revive, revitalize, rejuvenate the rivulets. This is 4 R's. And this is the demand of the forest dwellers, the people living inside the forest area, they always demand for the protection of their land, protection of the forest, and protection of the water resources. Keeping this demand in mind, we have involved the people in the preparation of the detailed project reports and used the technology developed by the non-government organizations, and with the help of the government, we are implementing this project inside the forest areas. And what are the challenges that we have? It's a vast forest landscape, and it is geographically at the disadvantageous locations. The planning is very, very important. So we need the trained manpower. We have employed near about the 40 natural resource management engineers, and we gave the training with the help of the ICRG and FES. They gave the training to these people, and in turn, they also gave the training to our forest personnel and the villagers. Now we have got the in-house facility and highly, very, very systematized and institutionalized in-house facility to prepare the detailed project reports from the ridge to valley approach using the GIS techniques and the remote sensing techniques. There are nearly 8,000 rivulets are there inside the forest area. They are the primary, secondary, and the third stage nalas and the tertiary nalas are there. And the main big challenge is identification of the soil erosionable, vulnerable areas, soil already eroded areas, vulnerable areas, and the degraded landscapes. Where the density of the forest is less than 4, less than 0.4, these areas are our priority areas. And to treat the drainage lines or the streams passing in these areas. And before the inception of the project, we are doing the ground truthing after selecting those areas, ground truthing of the areas by the forest personnel and our NRM engineers. And then before the starting of the project, we have got the baseline survey. What is the soil moisture content in that area? What is the carbon content in that area? What is the depth of the groundwater in the nearby wells? And what is the regeneration capacity of the forest before the starting of the project area? And what is the output, agriculture output of the in that nearby areas? How much is the output in that area? And the effective monitoring and evaluation practices. Next slide. And this is the specific detailed project. We are using all the GIS tools. We are preparing the project reports. This is the technology, different agencies. Everything is on the free portal. We don't pay anything for the preparation of the DPRs. And all these are available on the free portal without paying anything. We can utilize these things. And identification of the suitable rivulets and baseline data collection, catchment area, identification of the catchment area of that rivulet, that stream, and GIS-based planning for the DPR preparation, ground truthing, detailed designing and drawing estimations, and finalization of the work and completion of the DPR, and excellent implementation and the monitoring and evaluation. We have in-house monitoring and evaluation facility. At the same time, we have assigned this task to the National Remote Sensing Center, Hyderabad, for the effective monitoring and evaluation of the project being implemented in Chhattisgarh state. And we are using different thematic maps. These are the different thematic maps from the Bhuvan portal. It is very helpful. Government of India's portal, NRSC developed this thing. It's a very user-friendly. Now my forest officer also, they can use this portal for the planning, because we have to plan the vast areas of the natural resources. So we need the help of the technology to come to the decision supporting system. And this Bhuvan portals, and we have got the Forest Survey of India maps, and the FES has developed the plot layers. FMISL, we have got the slopes, and all these things. Using all these portals, we are preparing our project reports. It is the need-based, site-specific. We cannot construct any structure based on the demand of the some big wig of the society, or a politician, or a people representative. It is everything will be decided by the site-specific, by these portals. The targets and the achievements. What are the targets? There are near about, as I told you earlier, near about 8,000 rivulets are there. And from the CAMPA, we are getting the funds from the CAMPA. And now we have successfully implemented the scheme 2019-20 scheme, though it has taken some time. And 2021 also we have completed. And 21-22 and 22-23 targets. This APO works are under progress. Next slide. And that the achievement, large-scale employment to the forest dwellers during the COVID period. We have generated near about 86 lakhs man days during the COVID period, which was it has become like a amrut to those people during that period, because only local people and local resources and the local people, they got the employment. And the drainage line treatment of the 4,892 streams, we have carried out out of 8,000, 4,892 streams are being treated using with the catchment area of the 16.65 lakh hectare. This is exclusively forest area. We are doing inside the forest areas only, and it is to control, and we are controlling the soil erosion and the conservation of the fertile soil. Because once we rejuvenate the forest streams, then the time to flow the water will be more, then the surface runoff will be less, and it will save so much of the topsoil and the fertile soil. It will be, this is the in situ conservation of the soil and water, and when the water is flowing for the more time, and it will get the time to, the soil will get the time and the opportunity to absorb the more and water, so that the soil moisture levels will be improvement of the watershed quality and small irrigation facilities. As you know, in the forest areas, it is very difficult to develop the irrigation because we cannot go for the big dams, and we need to go for the small structures like the ponds, stop dams, diversion canals, so that the forest dwellers, they get, especially the forest right holders, they are getting the opportunity to irrigate their land with the locally available this type of the structures. Including the major thrust of this project is to improve the soil moisture content for the forest regeneration, to enhance the regeneration of the forest species. Because of the long dry spells, the regeneration is not up to the mark. Because of the availability of the moisture, the regeneration capacity is enhanced. It is based on the soil moisture index and the normalized different vegetation index, NDVI. We have analyzed these results based on the NDVI. Increasing the wildlife to the water availability to the wildlife. Reduction in the human and wildlife conflict. As you know, Chhattisgarh is facing a lot of problems from the elephant and the human and elephant conflict, because their habitat is being destroyed. And now, because of this habitat improvement works and the availability of the water and the food inside the forest areas from the Campa funds, they are being restricted to the forest areas. And now there is a drastic fall in the human-wildlife conflict, and there is a less damage in those areas. Implementation of the project has a huge positive impact on the forest, wildlife, and the agriculture. Even the villagers, the adjoining villages, the people living adjoining to the forest areas and inside the forest areas, their agriculture output is also increased by the implementation of this project. Next slide. Chhattisgarh, the state
Sorry,
carbon
sir,
stock.
for interruption.
Yes.
Sir, can you please conclude your presentation in 2 minutes?
Sure. Thank you. And the carbon stock, if you go through the total carbon stock before as per the forest survey of report, it is 4,880,250 tons, whereas after implementation of this project in this area, it is 4,96,437. Next slide. And the impact assessment before the 2019 and the 2021 drainage line treatment, we have taken the Karun Nala watershed area, and using the GIS and remote sensing technologies, there is a low soil moisture areas. We have become into the moderate soil moisture areas and the high soil moisture areas. There is a reduction of the low soil moisture areas. You can see it is minus 540 hectares, and there is an increase of the moderate soil moisture areas plus 277, and high soil moisture areas 277. Like that, that's a pondage area. Pondage area of the existing ponds also, it has increased because of this intervention. Basically, we are treating the catchment area of that stream by using the different technologies used on the elevation, and we are treating the area treatment using the contour trenches and brushwood check dams, plantations, loose boulder check dams in the Nala treatment, gabion structures, dikes, water absorption tanks, ponds, and in the recharge zone, we are going for the big water tanks and like that. So that the pondage area is also increasing. Post-monsoon surface water body area is also increased, and the NDVI category, there is the good health of the forest. The forest health is also showing very good health. So the regeneration capacity, the foliage, health of the foliage, and the carbon fixation capacity of that forest is also highly encouraged. These are the scientific data and these are the achievements, these are the output of this project, of implementing the project. Next slide, please. And the replicability, it can be easily replicable to the degraded forest areas and the revenue areas in the Chhattisgarh. Whoever wants to replicate this thing, even the watershed people also, the DPR preparation, everything is available. Immediate adaptability by the villagers, because the villagers want jungle, jameen and gel. They are getting the direct benefit by the water. For them, the water is it's a blessed thing. They want water for all the time, so that they can have the good irrigation facilities, they can feed their animals, and the forest wealth. If the forest wealth is good, they get the more number of the minor forest produce, and their economy will
May I request you to conclude now? I think your time is up.
It's the last slide, sir. Presently, the fourth phase is being implemented. Field level extension and the project execution by the technical forest staff. We have got the excellent institutionalizers, sir. This is the institutionalized system, and it can run on its own in future also. Next slide, please. Future roadmap, Chhattisgarh target. We have got the target for the 8,000 nalas in the forest. So far, 4,982 are treated. Live streams in the forest areas to avoid the siltation, forest fires. It's a reducing the forest fires. Micro irrigation facility, forest developers, climate change mitigation and adaptation practice. Excellent practice during this global warming time. This project is helping to reduce the temperatures and all. Next slide. And thank you very much. Thank you, SKOCH and the jury members giving me this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rao. Just one thing, otherwise project is good. You have done good work and following ridge to valley approach. That is appreciable. And we have been able to check soil erosion and regenerate the area. Right? Just tell me one thing. Are you involving locals also in the monitoring of this project or implementation of this?
So after local panchayati level institutions, they are the part and parcel of this project, and we have got the Van Suraksha Samitis and our Samitis are there in that area. They are also directly getting the benefit. And we have got the small committees to see before the completion of the project. We take all the villagers, that is known as the Narva walk, from the ridge to see the water. Yes, sir. They are the local engineers, sir. They are the masters in conserving the water. We are learning from them also.
Very good, very good. I'm very happy. Thank you very much.
Excellent work, Mr. Rao. You have done exceedingly well in the area of this forestry. Just one thing, that in forestry there are certain degraded forests. Have you been able to revive them, rejuvenate the degraded forest land also?
Sir, in the first phase, wherever we are working, the prioritization I have shown in the slides, sir. There we have taken up the degraded areas where the density of the forest is 0.4. One means high density. It is even the sunlight also cannot penetrate. If there is an openness of the more than 60%, and then we call it as a degraded forest where the soil erosion is more, water retention capacity is more because of the biotic interference, because of the illicit felling. We have targeted in the first priority those areas. The results which I am showing you, the NDVA result, the quality of the forest is extremely good. The areas where we have treated.
Okay, sir. And you are monitoring it through Bhuvan portal?
Yes, sir.
Department of Space.
Yes, sir. Good Department of Space. NRSC, we have given the work to the NRSC. We have entrusted this job to the NRSC, and we have got the in-house facility also, and the Tropical Forest Research Institute Jabalpur is also monitoring these works. These are the third party.
Excellent work. Excellent work, Dr. Rao. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
I'm audible.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Right, sir. So a quick introduction to the Chhattisgarh State Minor Forest Produce Cooperative Federation, CGMFP Federation, as we call it. CGMFP Federation, it is a three-tier cooperative structure with 13.5 lakh cooperative members from the forest dwelling community across the state, spread in 31 districts. So there are 31 district cooperatives, there are 901 primary cooperatives, and the CGMFP Federation is the state level cooperative based at Naya Raipur. The federation was brought into existence with the mandate of trading and development of the minor forest produce. So for the initial years, the entire business of trading and development was largely limited to the Tendupatta trade and development, which contributed maximum. But the potential of employment generation, livelihood generation from the Tendupatta was limited to a very short period of the year, primarily 3.5 months. So in from 2018 onwards, the CGMFP Federation went into a strategic mode of developing minor forest produce as a sustainable rural economy-based model for the minor forest produce. So we had taken comprehensive initiatives in the last 3 years for the fulfillment of the objective of providing sustainable livelihood to the forest dwelling community from minor forest produce collection, procurement, trading, and processing. And these initiatives have resulted in the additional income of rupees 500 crores per year for the last 2 years, largely due to the increase in the species that are being procured. The number has increased from 9 in the 2018 to 65 numbers in 2021. And there has been a consistent increase in the procurement prices, providing larger benefits to the forest dwelling community who is involved in the collection of the minor forest produce. Now, almost throughout the year, because of the 65 species, are procured from the forest from the various seasonal in the various parts of the seasons of the year. So this additional income has gone to the people living at the fringes of our society. It has given them hopes of the better future. And we could see the result that out of 1.35 million cooperative members, we have no recorded migration from the state during the pandemic. There are no financial hardship. Rather, they had a better life for themselves due to these initiatives. So we had a project mission. We had a problem with it. It was not a problem. Idea was to maximize the potential realization of the livelihood and the employment opportunities for the forest dwelling community. Idea was to maximize the use of local resources for the development of rural economy and to deliver the benefits to the local population and to ameliorate the local population migration due to economic stress. Next slide, please. So we took a multi-pronged comprehensive strategic approach. Idea was first, we went on to do a potential geographic mapping according to the species. Then establishing an infrastructure for the procurement. As of now, we have 4,337 numbers of MFP procurement centers covering 837 villages across the state. Then we had to create an awareness plan and motivation activities for the MFP collectors so that locals got involved into it. Without their cooperation and active collaboration, this cooperative approach would not have been successful. Then the idea was to provide them training for the sustainable harvesting so that we don't over harvest or under harvest a particular minor forest produce species. Then recruiting the promoters and the managers for ground level activity management and monitoring, creating all the systems and the policies for the smooth execution of such a large scale activity to be conducted around the year. Next slide, please. Then we had to recruit the services of an IT agency for the creation of a procurement app to allow for accurate and timely reporting and monitoring. We had the procurement activity is spread throughout the state over more than 4,000 centers. So monitoring seasonality, monitoring the procurement that is happening across the state, geographical mapping, and then setting up targets. When we had a procurement app, all these things became a rather easy job for the monitoring and the management of the entire activity of MFP procurement and warehousing. And then we did plan and implement a hub and spoke model for the transport and warehousing of the procured MFP, so that the post procurement, it doesn't have to travel a lot, reducing the wastages because of dredges and other factors. Then we started creating a system for the timely reimbursement of the MFP procured to the MFP collector. They're paid back. So the system is still being implemented because we are working on to a direct benefit transfer akin to the Manrega system. And in collaboration with the CSC, we are in the process of bringing the cooperative members into the financial inclusion system, which some of them were not, and verifying all the direct beneficiaries. And then we have to establish various mechanisms like e-tendering, e-auction, fixed price mechanism, so that there is timely sales of this procured MFP, and when we could generate revenue for the benefit of the MFP collector. And then post that, we ended up utilizing the Vandan Vikas Yojana of the Government of India, and we established 139 Vandan Vikas Kendras. So what we do here is we do primary, secondary, and value-added processing of the minor forest produce across 30 districts of the state. Because it was such a comprehensive approach, there were challenges obviously at every step of the strategy execution because it is happening across. Potential mapping in the remote villages, in the parts of the jungle, and establishing the procurement targets of each MFP species in accordance with the principles of sustainable harvesting required a lot of legwork. And idea was to ensure a long-term sustainability with it. Next, there was challenge of generating awareness in the local population. We wanted wider participation, maximum number of people benefiting from this. And there has been an increase in the cooperative members because of this wide-scale activity that has been conducted and still continues on a recurring basis. Then we ended up creating women SHGs for primary, secondary processing, for the procurement, and motivating the local women to participate in the regular self-help group activities was a challenge in itself. They had to be trained for the identification of the MFP species, minor forest produced species, the quality check for the procurement, then training the members for maintaining the records, because the educational levels were very limited among the women SHG members. But then we had to train them, and the training happens continuously, so that the settlement of the payments to the MFP collectors while procuring, and the payments which have to go to the women SHG members for the various processing activities, there is a proper record, and the women themselves are maintaining the record, reducing the chances of any privileges or leakages or any administrative lapses happening. Coordinating, we had to coordinate the district.
Sorry for interruption, sir. Can you please conclude your presentation in 2 minutes?
Okay, so I'll try to wrap it up. So next slide, please. Now, we had certain innovative aspects. So to prove, yes, we have the best MFP procurement system. We have 7% of the forest cover of India, and we account for 72.5% of the MFP procured across India. We are India's largest forest-based livelihood project. We are the first MFP procurement monitoring app. We have India's most rewarded MFP-based livelihood project, 11 awards to the Chhattisgarh state and 15 awards to the SHGs from the Government of India, Ministry of Tribal Affairs. And then an international award for the fulfillment of UN SDG goals-based performance at the ESG Grid Summit in Singapore, 2022. Our largest profit-sharing cooperative, with only a token ₹1 being kept for the federation expenses, entire profits are shared with the cooperative members. And then that, as I told, direct benefit transfer system is being developed. We have 139 Vandan Vikas Kendras, which is the highest number of MFP processing centers across the India. And the outcome is there for all this. We have had 6% growth in the number of species from 9 in 2018 to 65. And the total quantity of MFP procured has escalated to 6.27 lakh quintals, amounting for 156.91 crores in 2021. We have warehousing capacity generated for 2.2 lakh metric ton. Total number of Sangrahaks, the people who collect, there are more than 6 lakh who get the benefits. of procuring these MFP species from the forest, and we generated 78,45,500 for the mandates of employment. We have had a 138 times growth in the value of the MFPs procured, 3 times growth in the number of members engaged in the production of herbal products, and a 60% growth in the amount. And we have ambitious growth plans to take process further and downstream strengthening the system. We are establishing India's first 110-acre integrated industrial park. We have global ambitions. We have empaneled exporters, and we have a target of 2 crores in the current financial year, whereas in capacity has been expanded by another 1.2 lakh MT. And VDPK modernization is continuously happening with equipment training and new product development. So that is all about this project, sir.
Very good, very good. We are very happy to know that you have done excellent work on this project. Just a small suggestion. You have been I mean, mostly through SHGs you have been operating, no? And
Yes,
yeah, the produce which you get, you know, who collects that produce? Is it some private companies they take from them, or is it does it go through an FPO, you know, farmer producer organization type marketing agency which takes care of the marketing of the produce?
Sir, the 13.5 lakh cooperative members, they collect the minor forest produce species from the forest. It goes to the Vandan Vikas Kendras operated by the women SHG, wherein primary processing of sorting, grading, and cleaning happens. Major portions of it go to the warehousing, where through e-tendering, e-auction, and the fixed price mechanism, the MFP is sold to the vendors or the people who are participating in the fixed price mechanism. And a large portion of it is now going towards the value-added processing. So we have now almost 52 Vandan Vikas Kendras into minor forest produce value-added products, which are sold under the brand Chhattisgarh Herbal. We've had a growth of, in the last year, we touched a turnover of almost 7 crores from the value-added products. And we're expecting crossing the figure by 10 crores this year. And these value-added products are marketed under the aegis of the Chhattisgarh Minor Forest Produce Cooperative Federation here. So the entire marketing activity is coordinated. So we procure from these Vandan Kendras and brand it as Chhattisgarh Herbals and market under the common brand name. And we are extending these facilities of marketing to other rural livelihood mission projects also. So there are almost now 64 different rural and urban livelihood projects who are into agri processing and all. They are selling their products under the Chhattisgarh Herbals.
Now, just tell me, what is the average income of these, people who procure this produce?
So we've given them added almost 500 CR to almost 6 lakh beneficiaries. So I'll have to do a quick back of the envelope calculation.
It's around.
Yeah, I think because that is ultimately we have to see that they benefit and the benefits are real, no?
Yeah.
That their income increases substantially to bring them, say, above the poverty line or things like that.
So the managing director of the federation is here, and he has a word.
I'm Sanjay Shukla, I'm the MD of the federation. I would like to answer your query on that. See, we have almost 6 lakh families who are involved in the collection, processing, and value addition for this minor forest produce, other than Tendupatta. These 6 lakh families, per family, they are earning between, depending upon the quantity they collect, it starts between 10 to 22,000. The minimum goes around 10,000 to 22 to 25,000 per year. So this is the average income they normally they get in the entire three things. This 6 lakh families.
Very good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Excellent work.
Thank you, sir. No question from my side. Thank you, please.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
In the labs established in the state, and also the quality control regime adopted by the Federation. Next. As already told in the previous presentation, we procure approximately 65 forest produce from the forest, and also we produce about 134 herbal products. And all these products are sold through under brand of Chhattisgarh Herbal. So the main context for this QC system is because ultimately we will succeed sustainably, in this system if we maintain quality and also we have more market penetration. For that, we have to maintain quality. Earlier, we do not have any quality control laboratories, and also state is do not have QC labs. Only limited labs are available. So the Federation decided to adopt a quality control system that ensure mandatory and non-mandatory conditions of different certification. We have different kind of herbal products under AISH licensing and also FSSAI licensing and drug and manufacture license. So under this, we had to conduct tests periodically and also for each lot. So for doing that one, earlier we used to depend upon the NABL accredited labs outside the state. So currently we established about, and also the other thing is we have the 65 forest produce. We have to compete with the traders. We are there in last 50 years. So they maintain, they have separate standards, etc. Nothing is recorded. So for these produce also, we need separate test parameters and also testing system. So to ensure this kind of quality for both forest produce also and also herbal product, we adopted this one. Next. So under this one, mainly what we have adopted is we established 5 labs, 1 central lab at Raipur and 4 labs at circle level, that is actually distributed all over the state. And the 4 labs at circle level mainly caters to physiochemical test, mainly the simple test, whereas the state lab, in addition to the physiochemical test, microlab biological test also conducted. In addition to that one, the 139 center, that is Vandan Vikas Kendra, managed by the self-help groups, these centers ensure the quality. Just by testing the produce will not ensure the quality. Once tested, if it fails in the test, immediately that has to be corrected with the help of this Vandan Vikas Kendra. So these Vandan Vikas Kendras mainly ensure the quality as per the decided parameters. In addition to that one, we engaged technical staff, mainly biotechnologists of the laboratory, with the guidance of one central team at the state level. In addition to that one, we ensured that these centers should run on sustainable basis. So whatever costs that are incurred in the testing process, that will be loaded onto the product cost. So ultimately, the cost incurred through the testing pattern, etc., will goes into the system itself. Next. The main reason behind this one, I already told that all the certifications that Ayush, FSSAI, etc., they need mandatory testing under this kind of mandatory testing for each lot and also periodical testing. In addition to that one, for increasing the market penetration, we need this one. Third thing is, we do not have any laboratories in the state. Only one AISH lab is available in the state. So we should ensure one QC system in this one. Next. These actually, the challenges involved in this main thing is, one is finding proper protocol for the testing pattern. So actually, most of the forest produce do not have any R&D available in any institute of in India. So we consulted many traders and also many experts of ICR and CSR labs and developed protocols for testing. And also with their guidance, we developed the testing mechanism and testing parameters. And also second thing is technical manpower also, it's very difficult to find here because there are no laboratories who would not get any skilled manpower. So we have to find available manpower and train them as per our requirement. Third is the accredited labs, etc. Actually, we mentor labs were identified, especially CPET, Ludhiana, and also IIT Kanpur, etc. With their help, these labs are run under their guidance, and also the major tests, whatever that are to be done, that will be done through these enable accredited labs. Next. This actually QC system is first in the country because this kind of organization available in only few states, only Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and Andhra Pradesh to have this kind of cooperative which collects minor forest produce. Nowhere in the country in these departments do not have this kind of quality control regime or laboratories for controlling this, maintaining this quality. In addition to this, this system is ensuring quality product to the trader. So we are getting better prices because of this quality products, and also our herbal products, etc. They are getting good market prices, and this regime in future will ensure more market to our product. Next. The main impact in this one is one thing is total improvement in the overall system from procurement level, at storage level, and also at production level. Everywhere the quality is getting improved because we are repeatedly testing, and ultimately what it will impact is more profitable to the actual collectors or the people involved in the processing. Otherwise, what happens is if the quality regime is not maintained, we have to incur losses. Because of that, there will be decrease in the total trade of the produce, and also because of the losses, ultimately the trade may go down. In addition to that one, actually the produce we are getting more export orders also. Recently, we got food grade Mahua that is going to be exported to Europe, especially London, etc. Even with this system only, we had some issues and we rectified all those things because of this testing. Otherwise, it would have become difficult. Similarly, for wild honey, etc. also, we are improving the total system from procurement and processing, everything. So because of that, currently, because the recent origin only, we have started this regime. So currently, about 25 lakhs per month, especially for herbal products, the sales has increased by this much because of the more quality control. Next. The main future plan, our future plan is to get enable accreditation to at least one central lab, that is at Raipur. Second thing is to include testing or to provide testing facilities for other projects in the state, especially NRLM, etc. Third thing is we want to supply quality-based produce with some QR code, etc., which will be as per the industry norms, etc. By this, actually, we can get the bigger players in the market, and we can supply the more quality produce to the bigger companies like Himalaya, Dabur, all those things. In addition to that one, the range of tests, etc., that will be going to be expanded. So this is the overall thing, and we expect that because of this thing, the total trade and also the profitability or additional income to the tribal sector will increase. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think you are doing excellent work for the tribals. So no questions from my side. I'm very happy to note your developments.
Thank you, sir. I think your last slide is very important, wherein you have indicated your future plans, where you have proposed to have QR codes, etc., to confirm the quality. It will definitely boost your exports and domestic consumption also. Excellent work. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.